What up? What up? We're gonna do a little UFC 292 breakdown. This isn't an official numbered episode. Like whenever Rogan does the MMA podcast, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't
Yeah.
count as the number. But yeah, we're gonna do a little 292 breakdown. Big fight card. I mean, anybody that's watched this little like O'Malley journey to see it culminate in a title shot against Aljamain Sterling is like it's honestly wild that we've like arrived at this moment. This is something that 2-3 years now we've been kind of like, is this day ever gonna happen? And to like have this fight be made.
Well,
Also,
especially
Lemos.
you think about the
Go ahead.
Cheeto speed bump that was in there too for O'Malley. As far as just,
The
I mean, losing that was a
the
big deal.
the Cheeto speed bump, hell, even the Pedro Munoz, that was a no contest, right? So that got a little squirrely. The yawn fucking, questionable ass
Yeah,
decision.
I will say though that fight helped him more than it hurt him, in the sense that we at least knew he was on that level.
Yeah, no, I agree. However, I actually just recently rewatched that fight. UFC puts out like the fights on YouTube for free for the guys that are about to fight, and like I rewatched it, and I'll say rewatching it, it was even closer than I remembered it. I remember thinking like Jan like won that like clearly.
Oh, it
I
was
still
so
had it two
close.
rounds for Jan. Like I even with some sugar colored goggles on, it's tough to find 2 rounds in there to give to Sugar. Hell, even the round that he so much like clearly won, like it was one of those rounds where he won because he cut him, but like you could argue like Jan had a better round. Like even the round that he clearly won, as people love to say, like I don't think it was that clear. It was literally 3 coin flip rounds basically, which
I think the one that was clear for Sean was clear in damage. I don't know that he landed more strikes or looked better in the round, but he definitely had the most impactful shot of the fight. Probably the most impactful too. And then Jan had like number
yeah,
three.
I guess when I rewatched that, it shocked me like how much success Jan went on to have after the cut though.
Because Jan
Like
rocked O'Malley in the first, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah,
Or
no,
was it first or
I
second?
think I want to say Jan kind of rocked him again after he was cut. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like he like went on to have a like really fucking good round. Like it was pretty much just the cut from
And then
O'Malley in that
round
round.
three was
That's
a
the round
dog
he
fight too.
clearly won. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I rewatched it and so, but I'm just saying, like this path for O'Malley's been wild. It's been, kind of just inconclusive. But now I mean, we get the answer. Like I think whether you can say he deserves it or took the shortcut path or whatever, like we're gonna find out. Like he's testing himself against the best bantamweight of our generation for sure. If you want to say Cruz is better, then I don't think you're a crazy person. But like that's like an era past. That's like saying, like Peyton Manning's better than Patrick Mahomes. Like each guy kind of is in their own era.
Aljo's style is just so tough to deal with. I mean, it's
Oh,
probably the best
I hate
MMA.
watching it as a fan.
It's the
Like I
worst
hate
to
watching it
watch,
as a
but
fan.
as a fighter, man, is it not the style you'd want to have?
I heard somebody breaking it down. I forget who it was, but they made it a good point of like Aljo's style. It's not. See, this is why it sucks to watch, but it makes sense, and we're
It's a
both kind of saying
matchup
the same thing
nightmare. It
here.
just nullifies anything that anyone else is good at.
Like exactly, most people's styles is to make themselves look good.
He just
Aljo's
nullifies
style
his
makes
opponent.
you look bad. Like
Right.
he makes you look like he makes it like impossible for you to get off on it. So that makes it suck to watch, but also like super effective. So let's get to this main event. You gotta give our predictions. Do a little. I don't think I necessarily got to do research on this one. We're both obviously very familiar with both of these fighters. We're both pulling for O'Malley as fans. Like we
For
enjoy
sure.
watching O'Malley fights like more than we like watching Sterling fights. Like I'm kind of over paying $75 to watch these Sterling decisions, but like I so, but I can't bring myself to pick O'Malley, bro. Like, of course, as a fan, like, of course, like, it's kind of heart versus brain, but like, it is hard for me to imagine a world where Sterling doesn't grab him for 3 of these rounds. Like, even like best case scenario, 3 of these rounds. Like, there's a solid chance he's on his back for all five, or it doesn't even take all five. Like, I'm rooting for O'Malley as a fan. I would much rather hang out and grab a beer with O'Malley than Sterling, but like I can't bring myself to pick him. Now, The over-under is set at 3.5 rounds. And if I'm saying I like Sterling, that's by definition saying I like the over. Uh, Over 3.5, I think, is at plus 114 at DraftKings right now, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm reading this right. So betting wise, like if I'm just picking on verdict, I'm probably going to pick Sterling by decision. But betting wise, the value's on the over, not on Sterling, which I think it's weird that I don't think Sterling's going to get it's hard for me to imagine Sterling winning by finish. I guess he could get a sub, but I
Well,
don't know.
it's O'Malley's first ever 5 round
5 round
fight.
fall.
So I
Yeah,
think they wonder if he's going to gas and just be so
but
done there after the third that that Sterling gets him out quick. I guess that's
I'll be
kind of
real.
suspect.
I'll be real. 5 round fight, the line set at 3.5. I like that over with bantamweights. Like I don't know. I just
I
as a
guess
better, I like
I
that
guess
over.
it's because if you're taking Suga, you think he's going to get a first 2 rounds finish. So if you have one guy first 2 rounds, the other guy long term decision potential finish. I think
No,
that's where the
dude,
3.5
and
comes
like,
from.
as a fan, bro, if we get a second round Sugar, like lights out walk off
Oh,
KO, I am literally gonna have to change my shorts, dog. Like fucking.
that's kind of the best case scenario, right? Is that it's like Aldo and McGregor was, or not Aldo and McGregor. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Mendez and McGregor. That the
yeah.
wrestler he maybe has success in the first round, but is working so hard and eating these shots while working so hard that it starts to wear on him, and you don't lose enough power by the end of the second round. So you hurt him in the second round. I don't
I
know.
hope
That's
we,
like
but
best
that
case.
would be that would be electric, bro. I just have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see a snoozy Aljo decision.
Me too.
So that's where I'd have to put my money. As a fan, I'm hoping we see some fireworks. We keep it pushing here. Honestly, Zhang Weili versus Lemos. Weili's coming to the end minus 310. Lemos plus 250. Over set at 3.5 again. I'm gonna have almost copy and paste my Aljo fucking. I mean, we can almost copy and paste our breakdown because I feel like it's a very similar fight. I mean, I know Whaley's wrestling is like newer, but that's definitely going to be her path to victory. It's going to be grinding it out. No, the difference is that Whaley is not snoozy when she's like in control. She has nasty ground and pound. I'm tempted to take the over. It's a women's strawweight fight. I think Weili wins. I think Weili's path to victory is to tire out Lemos. I think that all lends itself to the over 3.5 hitting at plus 154, which is I love that value there. But I just like what's Lemos same breakdown to Sugar, right? Like if she's gonna win, it's got to kind of be a first or second round KO most likely. Yeah, Lemos has
She
that
had some
loss
subs
in
in
draws.
there. Oh, I mean, I guess she got subbed. Yeah, good point.
She
Yeah.
got subbed like not that long ago by like I think what's fair to say a B tier fighter at this point. Like I just Wei Li is elite. I mean, she's literally like the best at that weight class right now, and I don't think I can say the same for Lemos. Granted, she has the path to victory, and Wei Li has been knocked out before, but she was knocked out with a kick. I don't know. I don't think she's been knocked out with a punch. That'd be kind of hard to. Not that Lemos can't kick, but I don't know, bro. You see it any other way? You see it the same as me?
I am, man. I think Whaley is just too fast, too strong, too good in so many other ways. And honestly, I think striking, I think she can strike with her just as much, but I think she can out wrestle her anyway. Um, Now, Jessica Andrade just said that she thinks Lemos has the power advantage because she's fought both girls. She said she
I
felt like
don't think
Lemos.
anybody would disagree with that. I think that's kind of
Yeah,
like a
and I
Captain
think
Obvious take.
right, and I think the problem is hitting Whaley clean is so hard to do. I mean, the only person that can do it is Rose, and that's because she has weird timing. And Rose
And I
doesn't
just,
put
I don't,
everything on her strikes either. She's never trying to like force a finish, which I think makes it easier for her to touch people up.
well, I just picture Whaley like having the grappling advantage, the clinch advantage. She's going to get some takedowns, like the ground and pound. I said once Whaley gets you down, it's not snoozy. Like it is super
It's
active and
violent.
dangerous.
Now Lemos is
So
pretty good off her back in jiu-jitsu.
I just don't think it's going to be good enough, like for the best strawweight
Right.
on earth.
I agree with that. I agree with
Like
that.
that's how I see it. But I'm like, great. I'm glad you brought that to the show. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we're pretty lockstep there. I think this next fight is where the real back and forth and the conversations to be had. I think the main and the co-main are, in my opinion, going to be a little chalky. I hope it's not, but I for O'Malley's sake, but I could see that going pretty chalk.
Well,
Now,
this was the worst.
Magny versus Gary.
This was the worst. Speaking of back and forth, this is the worst back and forth at the press conference. Did you see either of these guys? Terrible.
Yeah, Neil Magny started it off with, I mean, his line was pretty lame itself. Like, oh, I'm a dad, so I'm used to giving out the whoopings. Ha ha ha. Like, that's the only reason why. Like, I'm not. I don't agree with a lot of what Gary's been saying and a lot of the points he's been making. But when Neil Magny says something so like whack like that, like not even whack in like a you beat your kids way whack, and it's just like that wasn't a cool line.
Right, like you're a professional fighter, like.
Yeah, already talking about. I'm also an Adrian Peterson fan, so what can I say?
Yeah, me too. Hey, me too. Sorry about it. Allegedly.
But yeah, bro. I mean, so yeah, you're right. Back and forth was weak on both sides because Magny made a lame ass quote. Gary is like trying to but maybe he's doing some Michael Jordan shit where he like finds a reason not to like a guy. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that, or like he's trying to like find like an angle to promote from, which I don't.
He's trying to be a little Covington-ish. Yeah. The thing about Gary is, bro, that I don't hate him as much as other people, but it isn't very good. Like, A for effort. Like he tries to be like a Covington and McGregor, like an incendiary figure. I just don't think he's very good at it, and I don't think it comes very naturally to him.
Right, it doesn't seem natural.
B-tier heel. It's like a B-tier heel. Like I appreciate the effort, dog. Like you're trying to make this fun for us. You're trying to give us something to talk about on our podcast, right on a headline. Like, thank you, dude. Like A for effort. But does it like necessarily like hit? Does it land for me? It never has. Every single time I find myself like well, you tried there, buddy. Like,
dude, you know what else? He always he has the Irish accent to say shit that is like awesome lines that would be like Connor saying it. But the problem is he says the same things as Connor. Like he literally told Neil Magny in the press conference, "You'll do what you're told," which is like, hey, bro, you can't just steal the line. You got to be like creative and make your own.
Yeah, no, like I said, yeah, it comes across a little cringe and just it just misses for me.
Like, you know what I mean? Is imagine if he had said, "I'll pin ya." You know, like
yeah,
like
he would have been better off.
Right, it would have made more sense for him, honestly.
Or like he should have just done like a gimmick, like a shtick, like make it obvious, like rip off like 8 Connor one-liners in a row, and like this is what I'm doing here, like haha, like I'm in on the joke with you, but just like sliding one in every time you're backed into a corner comes across as cringe and a miss for me. So I'm glad we broke down the Gary hype or like character more than we have this fight so far.
That being said, I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to get a finish. And I think it's going to be under 2 rounds in total time. I don't know about round and a half. That's where I get a little nervous.
See, this is a no bet for me. It's a Gary like verdict pick, but there is zero value. These odds are insane.
Yeah.
485.
No value. No value.
Like the value. See, and this is where Gary kind of revealed something in that presser. He was talking to Neil. He's like, "You're just going to try to make it snoozy. You're just going to try to hold me against the fence." And that, as a bettor, that got me thinking, like, yeah, you're right. Like, he probably is going to do that.
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to, like, Gary can't land a head kick in the clinch. Like, I know I'm just being on this overhammer wagon on this episode, but, like, bro, I can see an episode where, yeah, Gary wins the damage and wins the fight, but Magny, like, snoozes it up enough to make the over 2.5 hit.
Dude, life's too short to bet all these overs, man. You got to take unders.
Bro, I hope. Like, I bet overs hoping they don't hit. Like it's a win-win. Like, if it's a snoozy fight, I win some money. If it's not a snoozy fight, like, this pay-per-view was worth my money. But that's just like a coping mechanism for your boy.
Fair. What's the over-under set on this fight?
2.5, overs plus 100, unders minus 130. So, like, Vegas is pretty split. They did set it at 2.5.
I like the under. It's tough. I like the under.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. You're probably right. Like, but Magny has a way of making every fight snoozy. Like, he just does. Like,
I know. I think Gary gets away with maybe a body kick. I could see a strong body kick here hurting Magny and maybe sitting him down for the finish.
Mystic Harry. We'll just keep stealing the Connor bit. So
it'll make it'll make sense for you and Gary. Yeah, we'll just bring out Connor bits every single time.
But I mean,
This
we'll
poor
keep it
guy.
pushing here. I'm actually, bro. I'm glad this fight's on the main card. The fact that this
Crazy.
fight is above the Cheeto fight. Now I'm high on both of these guys. Like this is one for the hardcores. Like bantamweight, beefy bros. Like I can't believe this is on the main card of a pay per view, a bantamweight pay per view.
Damon Blackshear though taking it on. God damn, sorry, I keep dropping stuff. Damon Blackshear taking this on 7 days notice or 7 days time is crazy.
Dude, bro, bantamweight Kevin Holland. We
Really,
gotta do it.
realistically, I mean, if you think about it, man, it's like 5 days time. Because like,
oh yeah,
because he obviously last Saturday like was drinking water, eating food like before the fights. Probably Saturday night went out and like maybe, I mean, it's debatable like when they offered it to him, right? Like if it's right after his win, like hey, you didn't take any damage, you're cleared to go in like 6 to 7 days, whatever.
Yeah, it had to be. No, I think it was probably Sunday. They probably hit him up on Sunday.
Right.
I'd imagine.
Right. So then that means he has essentially.
And then day before weigh-in, so yeah, like 4.5 days or whatever.
He has 120 hours minus maybe about 12, so like it's like 108 hours to make the weight again. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, bro, I'll be real. I would bet Batista. I like Batista. Like I've been high on this guy. He's a Northern Nevada guy. Let's go. I mean, minus 205 seems like a good number on him. It's like at full camp. I can see this being a hell of a fight, but the quick turnaround, we've seen it bite guys in the ass. Get your bag, Blackshear. I ain't mad at you. Bautista, man, he's good. I think Bautista's had a whole camp. Bautista didn't have to cut weight twice. Bautista's like, in my opinion, even without all that, I would probably still pick him. So to me, minus 205, especially maybe in some other, we'll maybe find a Beefy Boys parlay to put together. And then this one, the over-under is a coin flip. 2.5 rounds, but minus 115 each way. So I think I actually don't necessarily have a take there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
But you like Bautista, though, right?
I do like Bautista, yeah. And honestly, I think that number's going to go up. I think sharps are going to put money in today, tonight, tomorrow morning on Bautista just because Blackshear, man, that cut, the travel, all that. I mean, the slight damage that he may or may not have taken, and honestly, like the wear and tear on his nerves and reaction time. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it, right?
Bro, if he's not taking on a can, bro. Like he's taking on a guy that you need a full fucking camp. Like Bautista was going to be on this main card regardless of who the opponent was. Like that lets you know what the UFC thinks of this guy
and how good he himself thinks he is that he's willing to take on any opponent.
Yeah, bro. I think the minus 205 is fantastic value. Yeah, this is gonna, for all the bantamweight fans out there, which we definitely consider ourselves. That's definitely our favorite weight class. Like this fight is this whole card is just stuffed to the gills with bantamweights. We got Chito Vera, Pedro Munoz up next.
The battle of O'Malley opponents.
Over 2.5 is minus 330. Like this is gonna be a snooze fest in my opinion. Like, and the thing about it is, bro, I got a hot take here. I mean, I guess it's not that hot. Plus 154 for Munoz. I kind of like Munoz because what does Cheeto do? If we're saying it's going to be a decision, and we know Cheeto gives away rounds.
He doesn't do shit for the first 2.5 or for the first round and a half.
Bro, so we're acknowledging it's going to be a decision. We acknowledge that Cheeto's going to give away at least one round. Like, I kind of got to go Munoz. Plus 154 straight bet.
We'll take him in the decision.
Yeah, might as well take him by decision. Like, yeah, Munoz by decision might be like lock of the week for your boy. Hot take here. Lukewarm take.
I will say that is a pretty hot take. Sorry, the ceremonial weigh-ins were taking place. I'm just trying to. It just happened here a few minutes ago. Just seeing, don't they face them off here at the end? They do, right? Let's see what old Aljo and O'Malley have to say to each other here. Kind of face to face. Aljo's talking. Aljo's talking a lot. He's popping off, but Sean O'Malley hasn't been saying much. Have you noticed that in the press conference? I mean, he's not saying a word right now. And
Yeah,
Aljo's
bro.
only said,
And
I mean, Aljo won't shut the
I,
fuck up. It's crazy.
I, I can't determine if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, is he focused or is he scared? You know what I'm saying? It's a fine line, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly can't tell. That's
Because
a
like
weird, it's a weird
Chael
vibe.
always talks about like when two guys are about to fight, like each of them knows who's about to win. Now, Chael says a lot of wild shit. Like, I'm not obviously that's not like 100% tendency, but
I don't think always, but sometimes.
like there is something when you like stand eye to eye with another man, like you kind of even if you lie to yourself in your heart of hearts, you kind of sometimes know, like, man, like I don't know if like who can take who, and I I don't know if I'm seeing that look from O'Malley. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But we can keep pushing into the prelims if you want. There's
What
still
up? What
some.
up? Hey, what Munoz Vera? You riding with my hot take, or you riding chalk here? What's your official take?
I'm gonna go hot take and take Cheeto by a finish.
Cheeto by finish. All right, leave it in the comments whenever we determine who's right. Tweet at us, let us know because we got opposite picks. I got Munoz by decision. He has Cheeto by finish. Be interesting to talk about on the breakdown episode. Yeah, I mean Weidman, return of Chris Weidman, leg break, 2.5 years off. This may be like a little litmus test of like the Connor experiment. See, depending on how Weidman looks. Granted, he's older, but he's also done less blow. So and probably
And probably
drugs
less
too.
steroids
Yeah.
and less drug.
This fight, man. I just know it's gonna be a snooze fest. That's why I took bro, over McGee -115. Because bro, I was actually listening to Morning Combat. They were listing off some interesting Tavares stats. He's had 20 UFC fights, 0 bonuses. I think he's like top 4, top 3 of all time in the weight class in decisions, like fights that go to decision.
Really?
So like Tavares over against a guy who Weidman's not going to come out like trying to like get in a
He's not
barn
gonna be
burner.
throwing head kicks. I promise you that.
He's going to be probably dipping his toe in the water a little bit. One would think. So, bro, I think the over at -115, even money, and it's 2.5 rounds, and they are big boys, but I love that over. And I mean, if I had to pick a winner, to me because you can't really bet Weidman, but I'm not betting -258 on Tavares either. So like the only bet for this fight for me is 2.5, and it's not even going to be on verdict. So I don't even know. I may cop out and not make an actual pick here besides the over. I might actually put some money on that over. I love that bet.
I definitely like that over more than anything else I like, but I guess secondarily, I would say I do kind of like the plus on Weidman.
I kind of do too, right? Just because
It's
the value
enough.
seems
It's
out
enough.
of whack.
It's not like
Like,
plus 160 like I think it should be. It's plus 210, which sounds pretty good.
like Tavares, so I think we can just say at this point, like 2023 Tavares, like is he a -260 over anybody that's like signed? Like that's kind of much less Chris Weidman.
Right.
Like I feel you. If I like gun to my head, like I'd probably pick Weidman. Yeah, like or actually not gun to my head because like then I probably would pick Tavares, but like as a bettor, like you can't take the Tavares 258. You just can't do it.
Yeah, the value on Tavares completely isn't there. But on Weidman, I think it's overjuiced. And maybe that is Vegas trying to sucker people in to the Weidman bet. I mean, that happens sometimes.
I got to look up this Dennis Tallulian. I know I've seen him fight before. Nothing's really coming to the front of my
Salty
mind.
11-7.
So you like the Rodriguez by finish?
I mean, he finished Jamie Pickett, but he has a loss to Kizraev. I mean, a loss to Alaskarov, which is aging very well. Lost to Jung Young Park recently. I don't even know who
Rodriguez or Tallulian?
This is Tallulian.
All right.
But so he has wins recently in 2022 over Jamie Pickett, and a win in 2021 over
Jamie Pickett's
Celino Ferreira. Yeah, I mean he has wins over guys that like aren't even in the UFC.
UFC caliber.
Yeah, I mean his one win in the UFC is literally 1-2 in the UFC, and it's the Jamie Pickett win.
So Rodriguez is minus 355. Tullian's plus 280. So, but really, the only other question is the over. The over under
Wait,
set at 1.5.
what's the undervalue there?
The under one. Vegas has under 1.5 at minus 195. They think
I
Rodriguez is
like
going to
it.
murder this
I
guy.
think it. I think
You
that's
like
yeah,
it?
yeah, 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 yeah. The murder.
So Tullian's just cow to the Velociraptor pit, just straight feeding here.
Yeah, I mean, I
We got a
think.
feeding on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, Julian Marquez getting finished in 3 minutes 18 seconds. Chidi and Jokwani getting finished in under 1.5. Jung Young Park getting finished in just over 1.5. I mean, barely over.
And
And
Jung
then
Young Park's way better than Tullian. I think we can all agree there. So
yeah,
like
Jung
even
Young Park
that, like
literally beat Tululian in his last
yeah.
fight.
So yeah, it's what I don't disagree with you. I'm just such like a cheap better that like I don't think I'm laying the minus 195 on an under 1.5. But like I don't disagree with your pick. This is just a no bet for me. But I
I
think Rodriguez like is
I
gonna
could
win,
see
obviously.
dumbass Dana making that as if you don't know, now you know fight. Like, oh, look how smart I am. It's like, go look at their fight records. Obviously, they get finished. Like, what the fuck, Dana?
So up next we got the tough finale, which hey, call me a mark. I've watched every episode. I can't say it's like
I
I
have
was on
tuned
the
in.
edge of
It's
my
not been
seat
my
my whole time.
yeah,
Yeah,
not the
I
best.
these tough seasons lately has been tough. You know what I'm saying? And like, but we got Kurt Holloway versus Austin Hubbard. Um, you know, Hubbard's at minus 185, Holloway's plus 154, and like that's about where I agree with it. Holloway's semifinal fight, he just kind of like out brawled him. Like he didn't show, in my opinion, like elite high level skills. Hubbard definitely seems more polished. The over 2.5 set at minus 166. I agree with that too. Like I think it's going to be over.
Definitely think
So
it's gonna be
yeah,
over. I definitely see this
I,
fight going over.
so like yeah, what Hubbard by decision most likely like is like it's how we see it transpiring. Like
Yeah, I could see Holloway maybe catching him though in like a guillotine or
yeah,
something like
Holloway's a
that.
dog.
I
Let
also
me
just
see
think
real
the
quick.
UFC would rather have Hubbard win here too. I mean, he's
I'm, t- I'm,
31, so it's reasonable that he could still like make a run, and then on the other side of it, Holloway's 36, and it's like
Yeah, because I mean, in the UFC, he had high level losses, dude. I mean, he lost to Mark Madsen, Joe Selecki, and Vince Pichel, none of which are cans. Now the only problem is all of his wins are against guys I've never heard of. So besides Julian Lane, I've heard of him, but I think he was pretty washed by them, if I'm not mistaken. So like I just the thing that sucks about this tough episode, the whole thing to be excited about on tough was like, oh, we got a new like something new to add to the division now. Like we got this new tough champion. Like even Brian Battle to an extent, you could argue how it's played out, but we're like, all right, we got a fun young new fighter in the mix. Like why should I be excited if Austin Hubbard wins tough? Like, oh, we got another mid lightweight, like fucking great that fights snoozy
yeah.
decisions.
That's what I
Like why
think.
would I? Yeah, like why do I care? Like I just don't understand why I would care. I care a little bit more on the bantamweight one, especially if Brian Katona loses. Which see, that's what sucks because Katona could easily make this a snooze fest decision. He has the snooziest style I've ever seen. Like
God, he's
it's
so
so bad.
boring. I love it because
Like
Cody
he's
Gibson hates him too.
That's why, like, bro, like, call me like a mark, whatever. Believe in the little beef for the call out in that last episode, bro. I kind of like the plus 142 on Gibson just because, like, Gibson 1,000% is going to win the damage battle. Now, can
Yeah.
Katona get enough control time to like snooze it out? Vegas thinks so. That's probably likely to happen. But if there is a scenario where Gibson can cut him or knee him or elbow him or you know what I mean, just like make it a little nasty, I can see him winning the damage battle. Like I think he has a path to victory, even though Katona obviously does as well with some snooze ass bullshit. But I'm not picking Katona. I didn't like him all season, like personality wise. I I I don't like him watching him fight. He's snoozy. He's like bantamweight Neil Magny, but not as good. I am pulling for Gibson, and I am picking Gibson. And by definition, I'm kind of picking I think the under. I mean, if I'm saying damage, like damage can lead to a finish. I mean, Katona does have good cardio, and I don't know. I like Gibson money line more than I like the under, but I'm just
Cody Gibson's loss to Ray Borg is so tough because it's in 2022. You know, I mean, it's less than 2 years ago. Um,
yeah. But in all fairness, I mean, I think Ray Borg even that is probably still better than Brad Katona. I mean, that's debatable, but like
I will say this:
level of
if you listen to who Cody Gibson lost to in the UFC back when he was in there in 2014, it was Aljo, Manny Gambarian, and Douglas D. Silva back in 2015 when D. Silva was still young. He had to fight all dogs when he was in the UFC.
yeah, yeah,
So,
no, for sure.
I actually like Cody Gibson here. I like that
I
number too, especially plus
Yeah,
154.
and Katona hasn't lost to Marab, so they've both been in there with those high level Sarah Longo guys. Um, but man, Katona's never beat anybody that made me give a shit. So I just now he was over fighting guys in Brave, which is kind of impressive. Isn't that like a Middle Eastern Russian promotion? So he was fighting some dogs over there for sure. But yeah, I don't know. This is more of a fan pick than like an educated breakdown pick. I'm just picking against Katona. I don't like that. He seems like a rat bastard.
That's fair, and I also do hate Brad Katona. He's annoyed me the whole Ultimate Fighter season. He annoyed Michael Chandler the
Exactly.
whole fucking time he was on his team before he switched teams. Connor didn't seem like the most like receptive of him, even though he's a teammate. Like quite
Oh, I
literally.
know. Yeah. He
Like, did
kept
you
saying like,
notice
"Oh,
that?
give Connor a boy." Yeah, Connor was like, "Oh, this fucking
Yeah,
guy."
he was
Yeah, I
kind of
guess he
like
hated
Brad Katana.
it.
Like that was about it.
Yeah, speaking of guys that we hate from Ultimate Fighter, Andre Petrosky's up next.
Fuck,
Taking
man. And
on
I guess another
Daryl
guy I
Mistro.
hate,
Yeah,
GM3.
GM3. I don't hate GM3 as much as you do. Petrosky minus 230, Mears chart plus 190. That's about right. More so
Yeah.
just on like age and like, like wear and tear more so than I think skills. I don't necessarily think Mears or Petrosky's that much more skilled than Mears chart, but he is younger, probably more athletic, stronger. Now the over one, I'm just over McGee. Set at 1.5 for two kind of like snoozy guys. I mean,
I don't know about Mearshard's chin.
I don't know about Petrosky trying to inflict damage. I think he just holds people down.
It's
I
fair.
mean, he does. He is a strong guy, athletic guy, but like he has a snoozy style. And if we think he's gonna win, I think it's gonna be from snoozy shit because that's what he always does, basically. I don't know, man. I don't know what is with me in these overs. I don't know if if it's just a cop out pick, but like I don't know, man. You're right. Mishtar does have a kind of a sus chin, but he's also rebounded from that. And Petrosky, I don't think is just like nuking guys like
Over's 2.5 or 1.5.
1.5, bro.
Okay, what do you think about Mearshart getting brutally KO'd by Joe Pyfer in April?
April 4 months ago, and Piper, I think hits way harder than Petrosky. Is a way better striker than Petrosky.
Oh
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
no,
It's kind of a
I'm
knock.
saying like, do you think there's leftover damage from it only being 4 months ago?
As much as there's gonna be, I don't know. I don't think 4 months is like. I don't think 4 months is like so close that you're like still concussed. Like that's not how it works. Like it's going to be the same. I mean, damage is there. You know what I mean? Once you get a concussion, it's easier to get concussions. Everyone knows that.
Yeah,
So
I guess Mearshart is chinny at a certain power level, and I don't know that Petrosky has that power level like you're saying.
when bro, Petrosky he could chin him in like the end of the second or start of the third. The fact that it's set at 1.5 and
Yeah,
Petrosky is going to definitely like snooze away at least one round. I think. I don't know. You don't have to ride it with me. I think I like that Petrosky or
I
just
kind of I
the
kind of
over in
like
this
that. I kind of like that. I think you really sold me on that.
minus 135. So I mean, Vegas agrees with it, but it's still pretty good money return on your money. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, if we had to pick a money line, we're probably picking Petrosky, but I don't think I would bet that even on a parlay. Um, Up next, we got stud prospect Natalia Silva minus 325 over Andrea Lee plus 260. They were talking a lot about Silva on Morning Combat this week. Some people are really high on her. Andrea Lee is pretty damn mid.
Yeah, Andrea KGB Lee. Yeah, very mid. I agree. I mean, record of 13-7 coming into this. Losses to Araujo and Barber recently. Has a loss to Modafferi in 2020, and that's aging. I mean, that aged horribly because Modafferi retired like a year and a half after that.
Yeah.
And the wins over Calvillo and Shevchenko aged horribly as well. So
Who has Silva beat?
let's see. I'm fully on Lee. I think is an important part. And Natalia Silva.
So is Vegas.
Natalia Silva also only 26. She's beaten Jasmine Jasdavicius, Teresa Bleda, and Victoria Leonardo, all in the span of a year and 2 months.
Were those over or under 2.5 rounds? Those fights.
Jasdavicius decision, first fight in the UFC, June 18th, 2022. Next fight, Teresa Bleda, exactly 5 months later, November 19th, 2022. KO third round, 90 seconds into the third round. Okay. Now this fight.
So that's under 2.5.
That's over 2.5. Third round.
Third,
2.5. That is under 2.5.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then last fight, May 20th of this year, Victoria Leonardo, first round 3-minute KO. She's getting faster every fight. With
I can't pick her over. I found my under. Bro, guess what this under number is? Because it's a women's fight, bro. The under is at +160.
Ooh, that's gas. That's actually gassed up. We can hit a parlay of over-unders.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of over-unders.
Because that's a nice little +160 to feed in to, like, really juice a parlay out.
Oh, that'll juice it up like fucking Connor on vacation. That's also a hell of a straight bet, though, too.
Yeah, I'm glad we're deep diving these because these are little gems that sit out here in the water.
No, for sure. Then up next, you got Karine Silva versus Marina Moroz. I'll be real. I got to hit Tapology for these girls. I don't know a ton about
Karine Silva throws up submissions like a fucking wild monster. If you look at
Moroz, isn't she the Ukrainian striker? Yeah, she's a Ukrainian, right?
Yeah, but
she's more of a striker.
But Silva's won her last 6 fights by submission, and like Poliana Botelho and Ketlin Souza are in that list, which aren't terrible.
Oh yeah, and this is the fight where Jennifer Maia looked like a fucking world beater in Moroz's last loss. I'm pretty sure. Oh, she has a win over Mayra Bueno Silva though back in 2020. That's a good win. 1 million canceled fights, though.
This is tough.
Yeah, I mean, Karine Silva's probably the bet. What's this money line at? Karine Silva -142. Yeah, I'll take the -142. I'm not touching the over/under. I don't know enough about these girls. I'll take Silva at -142. Probably won't actually bet it though, for being real.
Kind of like the under in that fight. I think both those girls are going to get after it. I don't know necessarily who wins, but I like the under. I like that fight to
under
get a finish.
Under 2.5 at +100. So
don't hate that under either.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, Karine Silva.
Over/under bets on this one.
Karine Silva, I think, has 16 wins and 1 is a decision in her whole career.
And if we think she's going to win,
right?
Then and Moroz has a lot of like injuries and wear and tear.
Oh,
she pulled out of
no,
like 85.
She doesn't have any decision wins. They're all finishes, submissions or TKOs, every single one.
So under 2.5 +100.
She has 1 decision in her career in 20 fights. Karine Silva.
Dude, we got to. So what's all right?
Oh, DMAC.
Write this down.
DMAC. That's the only time she's ever gone over 2.5 rounds in her career is that decision loss in 2019. In 20 fights, she's never gone over 2.5, except for once.
Can you pull up like a little note section and like write these down for real? Because I'm not trying to like have to.
Yeah. Here I got it.
Go back and look. All right. So we got Silva Moroz under +100. Like that's something we want to bet. Silva Lee under 2.5 at +160. That's something I really want to bet. Petrosky Mears chart over minus over 1.5 minus 135. Interesting. Not a guaranteed bet, but interesting.
What is it? What's the odds?
The over 1.5 is minus 135 on Petrosky Mir's chart.
Okay.
What Hubbard Hollabaugh over 2.5 minus 166. Don't love it, but we can write it down maybe perhaps. You sold me on the Rodriguez under 1.5 at minus 195. It's a good parlay builder for an over/under parlay builder.
Rodriguez, who's he fighting?
And then Tolulian.
Yeah.
Good luck spelling that. It's just all U's and I's.
Yeah, I put Tweelulin. So whatever.
Just chill it.
Minus 195 under.
Yeah, under 1.5.
Yeah.
Weidman Tavares over 2.5 at minus 115. Now I'm betting that for sure. Weidman Tavares over 2.5 minus 115.
Nice. Well, we like that. What's next? What else we like? Is that it?
Well, up next is where we split. You like Vera by KO.
What over-unders do we have?
All right, over/under. We didn't agree on Magny Gary, and then we like the over on Weili Lemos at plus 150. Yeah, that's a great one. Over 3.5 plus 150. I like that.
Ooh, I can see Weili getting a finish there though too.
It'd be a sweaty one, but I like it. I don't know. And then I don't know if we really want to bet it, but Sterling O'Malley over 3.5 plus 114. I like it better than a money line. I probably won't end up betting that, but over 3.5.
What were the odds on the Silva Morose under?
Silva Morose under plus 100.
Plus 100, and then the under on Silva and Lee was plus 260?
Under Silva 160, plus 160, but still.
So, I mean, right here, I'm just going to put this into a little parlay calculator real fast. These, if we just ran, how many can we do? 5, 6? What do they let you do at the casino?
Five.
All right, then we have to cross one off because we got 6 here. Let's figure out. Let's figure out a favorite 5 here. You got Silva Morose under plus 100. You got Silva Lee under plus 160. You got Petrosky Mearshart over minus 135. Hubbard Hollabaugh over minus 265.
That one.
I don't love that one either. I think there's no point. I don't necessarily love it. You know what I mean?
Let's scratch it.
All right, so we got plus 100. We got plus 165?
160, but whatever.
Yeah, 160 minus 135. What else we got here for these last?
Minus 195.
And minus 115.
And minus 115.
All right, so just see a little $10 get you here. $10 pays 246.
You ready to be $246?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm probably gonna throw 20 on that though.
There you go. Get me $400, Richard. That's big brain.
Yeah, big 492, almost 500. Well, if you get the 20 back, actually.
No, that'd be sick, bro. I don't hate that. I think it'll be fun to sweat too. Like sweating over unders as a bettor to me is more fun than sweating money line because like you get an immediate answer. You don't get no fugazi split decisions. Like if you're betting money line, some weird shit can happen. It's either gonna hit or it ain't gonna hit. You're gonna get that instant either gratification or kick to the nuts. I love sweating over unders.
Facts. That's very facts. I mean, so let's see. You get 20 to 1 already at 5 legs. So like this isn't the craziest parlay actually when I'm looking at it. Like I think when it's all said and done, it comes out to like plus 120 or something like that, or minus 120 if it was like all condensed, you know what I mean? Like our odds added together divided by 5. Like it's not that bad actually. It's just that all of them would hit in the sequence. But I kind of love it too because they're all minus what. I mean, not one of them has a 2 in it. You know what I mean? There's not one that's like over the top and not one that's like a crazy dog.
Oh no, for sure. They're all super reasonable odds, and it's like weird shit can happen that helps you in over under bets too. So like, say you're betting the under because you think that one fighter is going to knock the other one out. Well, guess what? If it happens the opposite and the guy you thought was going to win loses, your bet still cashes. Like it
Right?
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like
It's
like
not a
like
guy winning. It's just the fight ending before a certain point.
and anything can happen. Anything can happen, and like injuries aren't excluded from over unders. Like
Right.
betting over unders, there's a few different ways you can win, man. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to sweat out. I'm looking forward to it.
I think that's actually one of the craziest parlays we put together because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like a baseball parlay or an NFL Sunday parlay, like of just betting games. Like that. That's crazy. We finally found one that doesn't have some sort of astronomical odds where we're just like kind of reaching.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's like credit to the matchmaking on this card. And actually, not really the matchmaking. There's just not a lot of value to be had on the money lines, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Sterling at minus 265, or are you going to risk it for the biscuit on O'Malley, or like or Weili minus 310, Gary minus 485? Fuck out of here. Bautista money line's really the only one I like. And I said I kind of like my Pedro Munoz by decision hot take. I wonder if I can. I don't know if I could find that prop at, but yeah, I don't know, Ben. The over unders I feel good about. Like the Weidman Tavares one, I feel really good about. And yeah, man, looking forward to these, man. That was a fun little preview, man. When then we'll be back on either Sunday or Monday to actually kind of recap these of what actually took place, how accurate we were, and how we're gonna spend our $490.
Yeah, I'm sending you a picture of it right now just so you already have it in your notes. Got it all typed up right there. Yes, sir. We will see you guys very soon, obviously, for the breakdown of this card. And yeah, like D-Mac said, we'll be celebrating with a lot of new money in our pockets. So fuck you haters, and we'll catch you guys soon.